Your son thinks he's ugly. How do you help him with that? Well, we're going to talk about that today on Tips on Teens. My name is Kent Toussaint. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I specialize in helping kids, teens, and families to live happier lives. I lead two organizations, Teen Therapy Center and the nonprofit 501c3 organization, Child and Teen Counseling, both here in Woodland Hills, California. Every Wednesday at noon, I jump onto Facebook Live to answer your parenting questions. Let's answer today's. My son thinks he's ugly, and I'm really concerned about him. He really became self-conscious over the last year. He doesn't allow anyone to take pictures of him, and he kind of stopped socializing with friends recently. He still wears a mask out in public and even acknowledges that it's not for health reasons. What can I do to help him turn this around? Thank you for your question. Totally understand your concern about this. What you're describing is a young man, an adolescent, who is really struggling with self-hatred, self-loathing, and just wants to hide from the world. Now, why that is, I don't know. Could be 1,000 different reasons. Could be several reasons, all leading to this one thing. But I'm really concerned about this as you want to get him help. If he's pushing everyone away, his friends, his family, again, you can tell him he's handsome till you're blue in the face. It's not going to matter because he's not seeing himself that way. It doesn't matter what you say to him. I'm not saying don't try, but focus less on what he looks like. Let me explain why. If he says, I'm ugly, you say you're not. I'm ugly, you're not. It feeds the power narrative of I'm ugly and no one can stop me from telling me I'm ugly, and this gives me a sense of control. It's not a healthy sense of control, but there is a sense of control there, and it's the only thing he can grasp on, and he can hold on to that. I'm not saying pull away from him either. Still be there for him. Put the arm around the shoulder. Tell him you love him. You understand. You're here for him. Because he's focusing on something that can't be changed. He can't change how he looks. And all of us have something we don't like about the way we look. It's part of being human. It's the human experience. No amount of plastic surgery is going to help this kid because that's not really what it's about. It's about inside. He doesn't like who he is. Now, I don't know why that is. Whether it was a bullying situation, whether he's having a hard time accepting his sexuality. Again, it could be 1,000 different things. But I think it's important that we find that out. And I would encourage, if the option is there, for therapy. A therapist who specializes in kids and teens, who can really connect with them and help them start understanding where is this self-hatred coming from, and then understanding what is logical and rational, what is real, what is not real, and help him start building up his strength again through socialization, extracurriculars. I'm sure you're trying to get him to do extracurriculars, but my guess is he's not doing it because he's hiding all the time. He hides behind the mask. And you said not for health reasons, it's to hide so no one can see who he is. Doesn't want anyone to take his pictures. So I think once we start understanding what is the emotional need not being met and how to start meeting that need and how he can understand how to meet that need, I think the mask eventually comes off and he starts re-engaging with friends and re-engaging with the world. Again, therapy can be expensive. If you can go through your insurance, great. If you can go through a cash pay private practice, go through a nonprofit. There are our nonprofit, Child and Teen Counseling, that's a sliding scale. There are places you can go, usually if you look, to find a place in your area that can hopefully offer affordable mental health care. And I think this is important because if this is left unchecked, where does this lead to? Does this depression lead to possible, self-harm, cutting, suicide attempts, drug abuse? All these things are in play if left unchecked. That's what makes me worried about this. And I really encourage you to find help. If you don't have therapy as an option, is there a rabbi? Is there a priest? Is there something else, someone in your community, in your cultural community, who can help support this young man? But again, if you just let him hide, he just hides. It's like, think of it this way. I use this analogy a lot with clients. It's like he's fallen down the well, and it's cold, and it's painful, and it stinks, and it hurts, and it's uncomfortable. And you look up, and you can see light above there, and there are rocks along the wall. You can actually climb up, but it's dangerous, and it's scary. You might fall again. And it's just easier to sit at the bottom of the well, starving and being miserable. And what I would say is the only way out of the well is to take the uncertainty of the slippery rocks and climb up. And he may need someone to help him and talk him through that. Someone maybe who's gone through it too. And that's where therapists really come into play here. Or again, maybe someone in your cultural community who is trained in supporting young teenagers and how to deal with this. Anyways, it's a big topic. Get some help. I really encourage that. If you have a question you'd like me to answer here on Tips on Teens, you can email us at tipsonteens@teentherapycenter.com. Again, my name is Kent Toussaint with Teen Therapy Center and the nonprofit Child and Teen Counseling. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday at noon. Bye-bye.